Kate Middleton came out with a video addressing everything finally, and it has come out that she has cancer. This is something that none of us could have ever predicted. I was so thrown off. And actually, how I found out was I was going to my parents' house for my dad's birthday, and I get there and my mom's like, "Did you hear that it came out that Kate Middleton has cancer?" And I'm like, what? I wasn't going to do this. I was going to just proceed on my channel like normal and go into a different topic because I was covering everything that was going on. I didn't feel that it would be authentic to myself to just stop saying anything about it. And then also, if I don't say anything, that leaves room for people to speculate on how I feel, and that's not what I want. After a few days of sitting on it, I realized there are some things that I want to say, and it's less about Kate and more about everything else that's going on. Before I get into anything else in this video, I just want to send my well wishes to Kate and to her family, and I truly hope that she is able to beat this and recover and come back better than ever. This was not anything that I could have ever anticipated that we would hear. Okay, when this video came out, I was shocked. I didn't really know how they were going to approach this after all of the speculation was coming out and everything that was going on, where people were wanting to know where she was and what was happening. I had no idea. I did believe she was going to come back at Easter, like I said I did in my previous videos, but I did not ever even think in the slightest that she was going to come back and say that she had cancer. I mean, right now it's out that King Charles has cancer, and it just feels like the royal family is being hit with one bad thing after another. It's really devastating. She's so young. I don't know her exact age, but I think she's in her early 40s. She's so young, and she has very young children, and cancer has touched a lot of people's lives, and it's unfortunately a very awful thing that many, many people have had to experience with themselves or with their loved ones. You know, I wasn't going to comment at all because she asked for privacy, and I want to respect that. I would never want to do a video on someone, you know, coming out with cancer. That's awful. Like, the whole thing is just so sad. And I guess in hindsight, had I known that she had cancer, I wouldn't have done the videos. So I guess that's the one mistake that I did make. But I'm not a psychic, and I wasn't able to predict the future and know that she would come out with something like that. I do feel horrible that she has cancer and that all of this was going on while she's going through her chemo treatment and just trying to get by with her family. I do feel really bad about that. But I also feel like there is a lot of anger that's directed at people like me who were speculating on what was being put out there, but the anger isn't being directed at the source. Because the source wasn't me, and it wasn't people speculating on what was being put out there. It was the people that were writing the articles. It was the people who were posting the really edited, some of them proven to be AI images. And you know, I just think it's really dangerous if we live in a world where a bunch of misinformation can be put out there, but if people like me comment on that misinformation, we did something terrible. And I think we're going to go ahead and get into that portion because there are some things to say. And like I said, I want to respect Kate and her request for privacy. So I'm not going to speculate on the video, although I do want to acknowledge some things that I've seen people say about AI at the end of this very briefly. But apart from that, all I want to leave it with Kate is I hope that she gets better and that this is an easy recovery. She looks unwell in that video, and it does break my heart for her. You know, I've seen some people say, why wasn't Will sitting with her and stuff like that? I'm not going to speculate on any of that, okay? I'm just going to leave it with I hope she gets better. But I do want to talk to some people who have not been able to acknowledge that the media is controlling the way that you think and directing you exactly where they want you to go because it's easier for them, okay? Including the royal family. And I'm not talking about Kate. I'm talking about everyone else who knew she had cancer this entire time and didn't protect her in the media when they could have. And they could have because they have some control over that. And they didn't do anything about it, okay? And those are her friends and her family and the people that knew what was going on, all right? And I'm sure maybe they needed some time to try and figure out how to go about it, but there are some big mistakes that they made along the way. including blaming Kate for something that the internet was losing their minds over. I report on what's happening while it's happening, so unfortunately, I am not a psychic who could have predicted that Kate was going to come out with a cancer diagnosis. Those of us who did do videos on it, and I'm not talking about the people who sat down and filmed videos spreading misinformation as fact, and there was a lot of content that I saw that if you watched my previous videos, some of you didn't, you would see that I was reacting to saying that people who were spreading that misinformation as fact was dangerous. And that stuff I thought was wrong, and it was upsetting me just as bad as it was upsetting a lot of other people. There were a lot of content creators that I was seeing who was getting down in videos and they were saying, this is what William did to Kate, and playing this dramatic music and spreading this misinformation. There were some content creators I saw, they'd be like, our sources say, and they're just getting like random emails or reading tweets on Twitter and acting like they have some reliable source to post a video and get content out of it. And that was wrong. And I think some of the comments that I've been getting, they're being directed in the wrong place. I wouldn't have filmed those videos had I known that she had cancer, obviously, but I can't see the future. But I was reporting on what people didn't know and the questions that people were having about her whereabouts. She had been missing for over 3 months. Nobody had seen her, and that was the longest that Kate had ever gone without being seen. And I'm sorry, but does anybody remember what happened to Princess Diana? Okay, I don't feel that with the things that have happened in the past that people should just blindly believe everything that the royal family is saying, because there has been some shady stuff that has gone on. So of course, when the princess has not been seen or heard of and they're posting these pictures that aren't real, people are going to start speculating. So when the narrative gets flipped that the people who were speculating on it are the ones that were in the wrong, that's what I don't like. And like I said, this is not in regards to the people who were getting in these videos, and you all know who you are, and sitting there saying this happened and we have reliable sources. That was disgusting. And I said that it was, and it was dangerous to be spreading that misinformation because people were watching it and believing it, and it was spiraling out of control. People were like, everybody should have just left them alone. People leave them alone and don't speculate on what's going on when they aren't causing a media circus by things that they posted. They were the source. I reported on the source. Go to the source. I don't like how the media is trying to twist the narrative that people who covered Kate Middleton missing are the problem when they were the ones that were putting out the material that was causing people to speculate in the first place. And then people like myself are very easy targets because we have a comment section, and it is so easy to get down in the comment section and to direct all of the anger at people who create the content that I do. I think when it comes to these big news reporting agencies and the people that are part of that, they probably don't like people like me, because people like to watch channels who report on these things because they like real opinions and stuff that isn't filtered through tons of people, and you get lots of fake news and stuff that isn't authentic. And I don't think that they like that very much. When they create these articles where everyone should be ashamed of themselves, they send all these little minions to people like my channel to try and scare us and make us remove the content that we made, so the things that they did do wrong can go unnoticed and ignored, and they can pretend like it didn't happen. And I'm sorry, there was some sketchy stuff that happened, and I'm not going to take down my videos so they can continue to act like it didn't. These same people didn't care about Meghan Markle. They didn't care about the things that were being said about her. I've also seen people say, oh, Kate was bullied. I didn't see Kate being bullied anywhere. I saw her husband being bullied, and I also wasn't a part of that either. But if you watch my videos, you would know that. But Kate wasn't bullied. People just wanted to know if she was okay. They were concerned because there has been some sketchy things that have gone on in the past with the royal family. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to just sit over here and ignore that. And yes, there were awful jokes and horrible videos that people made and awful content that people made about it. That wasn't my channel. Okay, and the people who watched my videos and are a part of my channel and know my content, those are the ones that know that. You know what I do feel bad for? I feel bad that the royal family didn't do anything to stop the speculation that was going on weeks before she put out that video sitting by herself on a bench. Okay? They could have put something out to stop this. They could have put out a statement. They could have done anything to stop what was happening, and they didn't do it. And they are the ones that are her family, that are her friends, that are the people that are in her circle that could have done something to show more support and to help her. Not people who didn't even know that she had cancer. They allowed numerous photos to come out about her that just continued to fuel the speculation. And if people don't remember this, they have a lot of control over what gets put out and what doesn't get put out, okay? And I saw some things getting put out that if they truly cared, they wouldn't have allowed it to be put in the media. There is a lot of control that goes on behind the scenes that everyday people aren't seeing. There are all these news articles right now from these journalists that continuously perpetuate toxicity with the articles that they write, that are now writing articles trying to shame the people who speculated on the articles that they put out. They are the source. I feel like it's dangerous to try and push people like me away from reporting on things that are happening, because I'm just an everyday person, just like you are, who isn't going through a filtering of tons and tons of people that are telling me what I'm allowed to say or not allowed to say. And, channels like me, you're going to get authentic opinions from people, whereas the news, maybe not so much. I feel like it's a little funny because a lot of the comments that I had seen were coming from people who didn't watch my videos, because I commented heavily on the toxicity of misinformation that people were spreading and gave my opinion on that. And of course, I did speculate on what was going on because we didn't know. And like I said, with everything that happened with Diana, I'm sorry, I am just not one of those people who's going to sit there and take everything that is told to me by people that I don't know as fact, especially when they've put out so much misinformation in the past. I mean, does anybody remember what happened to Meghan Markle? I know that a lot of people don't like her, and that's fine, but nobody cared when the royal family was allowing article after article, tabloid after tabloid to come out about her. Nobody cared, And so it's interesting to see the narrative trying to be spun like, oh, people bullied Kate, they were awful to her. Nobody was being awful to Kate. William and the royal family, yes, but Kate as an individual, people just wanted to know she was safe. And I feel like it's really disturbing to see how things like this happen online, where 1 minute it's one way and then the next minute it gets completely flipped. And that is exactly what they want to happen. Does anybody else see it, or is it just me? I know some of y'all see it. Now, we need to talk about this AI stuff, okay? Because if you watched my previous video, which some of you didn't, and shame on you for commenting when you didn't watch it, because you don't even know what was in it before you commented. But a lot of you watched it, and I appreciate you, and I love you so much for that, for actually listening to the words that I was saying before leaving me a comment. You are amazing, and I love you. In my previous video, I said that I was concerned that because there had been so many fake photos put out in the past, that once Kate sat down in a video, that people weren't going to believe it. I'm actually going to play that clip for you right here. Even if they do release a video of her where it's super clear and she's talking to the public, are people even going to believe that at this point because of AI and because of everything else that was faked? It's concerning. I really don't know what's going to happen. I'm curious if when she shows up after Easter, if it's going to just continue to be a downward spiral and if people are still going to question what they're seeing. And I feel like it really raises some interesting questions in general and concerns that I personally have over the state of the internet and us seeing, stuff that looks real but isn't real. It just kind of makes you want to turn the internet off and go outside and get some fresh air where the person that you're seeing walk down the street isn't a bot. Or are they? That is the dangers of AI, okay? When you have something like AI where people can just fake anything, and then the whole Photoshop scandal came out, there's always going to be people who don't believe this video. And again, I'm not saying that I don't believe it. I'm just saying some people don't believe it. They're saying that the background isn't moving at all, and it's not. There is a chance it's a green screen, but there are bugs flying around, so I don't know. All I'm going to say is that I really hope that Kate Middleton gets better and that she receives the the care and the treatment that she needs, and that she's on a road to recovery, and that she will be back better than ever after this. I hope for her and her family's sake that it is an easy road to recovery. I do not expect that I will have anything else to say on this subject. I want to respect the fact that she asked for privacy in that video. So we're going to proceed with other content after this one. If you watched this video from beginning to end and heard the things that I had to say, thank you so much for doing that. I know that not everyone is going to agree with me, and I heard this thing where someone was like, if people are going to be angry, they're going to be angry, and it doesn't matter what you say. And I respect that, so if you're mad, I respect it. It happens to the best of us. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon for another one.